couple of years, I've been in the thousands of talks I give all over the place. I've found myself kind of reluctantly giving talks about endangered species, meaning by that things like democracy, human rights, socioeconomic development, others. But the prime one, unfortunately, is human beings. The best way to control people is by fear. Violence will probably terminate the species. If violence is among 2-year-olds, it's a bad thing. You try to stop it. But when it involves nuclear weapons on automated response systems with a 2-minute period of human intervention, if the computer tells you there's a missile strike, then violence can be terminal violence. That's the principle of universality, meaning if some act is right for me, then it's right for others. If it's wrong for them, it's wrong for me. If you can't accept that principle, you should have the decency to shut up. Quite commonly, the term terrorism is used by someone for the terrorism that they carry out against us, not the terrorism that we carry out against them. Everyone's worried about stopping terrorism. Well, it's a really easy way. Stop participating in it. I mean, that alone will reduce the amount of terrorism in the world by an enormous quantity. It's often argued that the term terrorism is very hard to define. Actually, it's no harder to define than any other term in ordinary political usage. But this one is hard to define because when you take the official definitions, and you apply them literally, it follows that you're a terrorist. And that can't be accepted. It's if they do something to us that the world is coming to an end. But if we do it to them, it's unnormal. Why should we even talk about it? The phrase war on terrorism should always be used in quotes, because there can't possibly be a war on terrorism. It's led by the only state in the world which has been condemned by the highest international authorities for international terrorism, namely the World Court, Security Council, except that the U.S. vetoed the resolution. The Reagan administration, pretty much the people now in office, declared a war on terror. They didn't declare it on September 11th, they declared it in 1981. The focus of U.S. foreign policy is going to be war on terror. It quickly turned into a terrorist war. It destroyed Central America and for the rest of the world. After September 11th, some of the press, particularly the Wall Street Journal, began investigating opinion in the region. They were trying to find out the answer to George Bush's plaintive question, why do they hate us when we're so good? I used the official U.S. government definition of terrorism, which totally enrages people. Because if you take the official definition, it follows right away that terrorism is official U.S. government policy and that the U.S. is a leading terrorist state.